This condo could make you millions in profits. Every condo launched in Queenstown, Stirling Residences, Margaret Ville, P.I.C, Commonwealth Towers has made buyers almost $1 million in profit. Now, this project may be next. Today, we're going to review Penrith, an upcoming development by Hong Leong GuocoLand at Margaret Drive. So the exact location is in District 3 in the RCR region. So it is actually located on Margaret Drive. As you can see from the map itself, it's right directly next to Queenstown Primary School. As you know, this is in the heart of Queenstown, which is one of Singapore's most profitable property districts. So let's break down why this project could actually potentially be the next big success story. And as usual, we will be doing our review based on our 7-step P.I.C method. At the end of the video, I will share with you 3 reasons why you should consider this development. And if you want to find out what this 7-step P.I.C method is about, watch the video here, link in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on property investment, real estate trends, and home buying tips. First up, step 1, entry price. Now, let's take a look at the land cost price first. The land awarded back in August 2024, and it was bought at 1154 PSF PSR. So if you add in your marketing, construction, and all these different costs, the break-even we're looking at is 2026 PSF. And based on, as usual, 20 to 30% profit from developer, we may be looking at a price of 2431 PSF to 2634 PSF range. But what we are hearing on the ground is that it may most likely be starting from 2006 PSF thereabout. So first up, let's take a look at the PSF as compared to the recent resale nearby. So we have Stirling Residences, which is highest transacted record of 2681 PSF. Next, we have Margaret Ville, 2396 PSF, and then we also have Queen's Peak, 2348 PSF, and Commonwealth Towers, 2536 PSF. So what this shows is that buyers, right, are already paying 2003 plus to even 2006 plus PSF in the resale market for projects that are already 5 to 10 years old. So if Penrith really launches at starting from 2006 onwards, right, you're essentially buying brand new, full lease, modern facilities, developer warranty at almost resale equivalent pricing. So if you take a look at the HDB transacted prices in the entire Singapore under RCR region, okay, which is the rest of Central region, right, you will see that the highest HDB prices is actually in D3 itself. And if you compare to the entire Singapore, the highest HDB prices are in Queenstown itself. The median price for a 4-room flat in Queenstown itself is $1 million. So if HDB is transacting at such prices around the area, upgrading to a private property nearby will be easily achievable. So let's take a look at the quantum over here. So if you look at the 2-bedder, which is starting from the size of 614, so just for illustration purpose, I will just use the smaller size over here. So the smallest 2-bedder is 614 square feet. So if we are looking at a launch price of, say, they're saying that starting from 2006, then we are looking at, say, 1.59 quantum. And if let's say, if during launch day, developer decide to go a little bit lower, say 2430 or 25 even, so you may have 1.49 or 1.53. And if it goes all the way up to 2009 PSF, we're looking at 1.78 for a 2-bedder. And as for a 3-bedder, 1066 square feet, if you're looking at 2006 PSF, we're looking at a quantum of 2.77 mil, and all the way up to 2009, which is about 3.09 mil for a 3-bedder. And for a 4-bedder, we're looking at, if let's say we're starting at 2006, then we are looking at 3.04 million for a 4-bedder, all the way up to 2009, which is 3.4 million for a 4-bedder. So let's say developer really launches at this kind of price range, so this will be the kind of price tag we'll be expecting. So if in terms of quantum, you will see that if let's say the developer really launches between 2006 2007, we are already seeing that kind of pricing in the resale market when it comes to, for example, Stirling Residences or Commonwealth Towers. So if you ask me, new launch, if let's say they are launching at this kind of price, which is very, very similar to the existing resale, which is really 5 to 10 years old, I think the value is truly unbeatable. And if we take a look and compare it to our base limit chart, it sits very well within the RCR region price range. And at the same time, if we compare the recent land bid prices, you will see that why Penrith will be launching at a very good value. So as you can see, it's a very similar land bid price. Location of Thomson versus location of Margaret Drive, I think very obvious which is the clear winner. And at the same time, we also have the OCR places, for example, Chuan Drive and Bayshore, which are both in OCR, and the land bid prices are at 1376 PSF and 1388 PSF. We also have Lakeside, which is an OCR, comparable price at 1132 PSF, but again, you must always remember remember the location of Lakeside Drive as compared to the location of Margaret Drive. Both drive but very different. So with all these higher land bid prices, their break-even prices will definitely be higher. And with a higher break-even price, what do you think of their launch pricing? Definitely higher than Margaret Drive. Do you think that they will actually launch at a lower price as compared to Penrith, even though they are in OCR, but at a higher land bid price? Next, we have step 2 of our P.I.C system, which is rentability. So Queenstown has a very strong rental demand, mainly because of its convenience. So Queenstown MRT itself, you are 2 stops from Buona Vista, 3 stops from One North, 4 stops to Kent Ridge, where you have your NUS, your NUH, 4 stops to Tanjong Pagar, and 5 to Raffles City, which is your CBD area. It is actually a highly sought after rental area for a lot of expats and families. At the same time, it is only 7 stops to Maple Tree Business City, where you have the Labrador MRT. And on top of that, you have 9 international schools within 15-minute drive itself. Over the years, we have had many clients who bought properties in this area. And guess what? Their properties are rented out within 1 week from key collection. The reason why? Because there's always constant rental demand. You have tenants ranging from students to expat families and even professionals. The next step in our P.I.C system, which is the third step, is where we evaluate the future transformation in the area. We can drive long-term capital appreciation. Okay, let's take a look at the master plan itself. So this is Penrith site along Margaret Drive, and next to it will be Queenstown Primary School. If you take a look here, there is this blue color zone here. This blue color zone is actually a commercial land use. So most likely we are looking at suburban mall, probably some supermarket, food, cinema, or things like that. If that happens in the near future, it will definitely bring a lot of conveniences to the residents in Penrith. One very important thing that I wish to highlight to many of you is that if you take a look around Penrith, most of the areas are zoned as residential zone. For example, all this in this beigey colors are all residential zone. For example, this 2.1 over here, plot ratio, this over here, this plot over here, this plot over here, and this plot over here, although they are all with the plot ratio of 1.4 already, 2.1 for example for the rest, they are actually not awarded or not launched for sale yet. That means that these are future land that will be bidded in the near future. And when these plots eventually launch, their land bid prices will definitely be higher than Penrith. And with the land bid prices being higher, the future launch prices will definitely be higher. And this will actually push the Penrith's future selling prices and reinforce its current value right now. And on top of that, I want to show you over here, you can see there are some plots that say subject to detailed planning, and over here as well. All these plots, we don't know what are the plans yet, but at the moment, it is still zoned as residential as well. The next step in our P.I.C system, which is the 4th step, is pull factors. Finding out what's in a location that attract future buyers as well as tenants. So when it comes to schools, within 1 kilometer, we do have Queenstown Primary, and within 1 to 2, okay, we have Alexander, Gunning and Newtown. There are also plenty of childcare centers within 500 meters itself, attracting a lot of young families into the area. And one thing that you wish to note, there are actually 9 international schools within 15 minutes drive itself. Oh, and if you want more information, you can always contact us through WhatsApp. Our number is here. And if you think that this value is benefiting you, please help us by liking and sharing this video. Thank you. Alright, the next step, it's a 5th step, which is connectivity, accessibility, and amenities. So when it comes to MRT, Queenstown MRT itself is within walking distance. To be exact, it's actually 360 meters away, and if you walk, okay, at a normal pace, it takes about 3 minutes and 51 seconds. This is the last plot of land that is nearest to Queenstown MRT station. There's no more land nearer to Queenstown MRT station unless one of the properties over there en bloc. In terms of accessibility, Penrith has a direct link to AYE CTE, which will be minutes to CBD and Orchard. And as you know, Margaret Queenstown area is a mature estate. So when it comes to amenities, they are not lack. So the first one, let's say you're talking about supermarket. So there is a supermarket in the HDB block just right next to Penrith. And in terms of shopping, you have Anchor Point, Dawson Place, IKEA Alexandra, Alexandra Central. And in terms of eateries and food, for example, Machin Road Market, you have your Margaret Drive Hawker Centre, your ABC Food Centre, Alexander Village Food Centre. Plenty and plenty of it for you to choose from. And in terms of lifestyle, 5 minutes to Orchard Road. It is 5 minutes to Dempsey Hill. It is also 5 minutes to Botanical Gardens. Holland Village is also just 3 MRT stops away. And when it comes to childcare, right, you'll be happy to know that there's actually one within the development itself. Next step in our P.I.C system is to conduct a development review. Okay, at the point of recording, the site plan is not out yet, but what we do know is there will be 2 iconic twin towers. It will be 40-story high. So there is a total of 462 units. Very, very good size. Not too small. Like we mentioned, we don't want the small boutique ones, and we don't want mega, like a few thousand units. 462, very, very good size, because why? It's good enough to command a lot of facilities and support a lot of transactions. At the same time, there's also early childhood development, which is a childcare center integrated within the development itself. We also heard that there will definitely be a rooftop garden in Penrith, so which means the residents will be able to enjoy that beautiful city skyline from the development. Who are the developers? So we have Hong Leong, we have GuocoLand, and we also have a famous architect, which is ADDP Architects. As you guys know, Hong Leong GuocoLand, they are renowned for many successful projects. For example, you have Commonwealth Towers, you have Mayor Rise, you have Cocoa Palms, and of course, GuocoLand, you have your Springleaf Residence, which is the most recent sell-out success, Midtown Bay, Mayor Mansion, Lentor Mansion. Who is this ADDP architect? Okay, just to share with you, they are actually the top 10 architecture firms in Asia for the past 20 years. That says a lot about its track record and its reputation. FYI, some of the projects they have done include, for example, New Futura, Martin Modern, and Key Residences. One thing good about Penrith is that the road in front is actually a cul-de-sac, which means there will be lesser traffic over there. People will have to make a U-turn, and I don't know if you believe in feng shui, but in Chinese feng shui, right, people actually like houses around cul-de-sac because this is where the qi, the energy, right, they gather, and therefore flourishing the people who stay in the area. Okay, lastly, step 7, layout and view. At the point of recording, the unit layout is not out yet, but what we do know is that it is the first GFA harmonized project in Queenstown area. So which means that you will not have your weird window ledges, your bay windows, you will not have double volume ceiling and things like that. So which means the project is very, very likely to be very well designed, well spaced, and very efficient. Let's take a look at the unit size though. The 2-bedroom units, we're looking at 614,678 square feet. Very decent size, not too small, not your Mickey Mouse units. 3-bedder, 786 all the way to 1066. Again, very comparable sizes to a lot of new launches these days. And a 4-bedder, we have 1173 to 1281. Again, another pretty decent size. The developer has confirmed that the development itself is north-south facing. The building itself is north-south facing, so there will be no direct afternoon sun. The north view is going to be nice because it faces the church and the GCB area, so it's unblocked, beautiful view. But I have to highlight to you is that, earlier we mentioned that there are a few plots of land over there. So depending on your facing, if let's say the land they develop into some high-rise development, some of your views may be blocked. But for sure, over the church is unblocked, and for sure, those looking at the GCB area will be unblocked. And unfortunately, that area, as you know, it is a very popular area. So you are definitely surrounded with tall buildings, but you may do get some pocket views, city skyline or sea or things like that. So in summary, why should we consider Penrith and Margaret Drive? So let me give you 3 reasons. First, number 1, the best value in these 3 new launch. With launch pricing starting from 2005 PSF onwards in RCR, it's considered a very safe entry price. Because let's take a look at the recent RCR prices. The Ori, which launched at 2748 PSF, and then we have 8 at BT, which is 2730 PSF. So if let's say we're looking at 2005-ish onwards, very, very good, attractive price. Number 2, future land price support. Remember I showed you earlier there are other residential zone plots in the master plan around the area which are not sold yet. And when they are eventually released, their land bid prices will definitely be higher. And this will actually support Penrith's resale value. Not to forget, there's also pent-up demand in the area. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the last plot of land that is nearest to the Queenstown MRT, unless there's an en bloc. So there's not much upcoming in the near future. So there is definitely a demand. And of course, always remember the upcoming land prices in the OCR are already more expensive than Penrith itself. And number 3, which is a very strong personal point to me, is that this is a proven profit district. Look at Stirling, look at Margaret Ville, look at Queen's Peak, look at Commonwealth Towers. The buyers are all rewarded very well with very good profit from their property purchase. And of course, Penrith, you have backed by Hong Leong and GuocoLand's track record. I'm sure it's going to be positioned very well to be the next success story in Queenstown. So, what are your thoughts on Penrith? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to receive more information on Penrith, as well as the brochure or floor plans, do feel free to send us a text at this number here. The targeted preview, we're looking at 4th October, and the targeted launch date is we're looking at 18th October. So if let's say you want to take a look at the project itself, do feel free to drop us a message in our number here, and we will slot you in the VIP preview. And before you leave, do remember to hit like and share and press on the notification button to subscribe to more videos like this. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time. Bye bye.